in Berlin, retired Army Lieutenant Colonel Bob Maginnis. Colonel, obviously it says a lot when someone like that just disappears from the scene of the crime, but even more when there was this back and forth, if he was part of this wave of refugees that came into the country, and then they kind of lost track of him, or Tunisia wouldn't honor the paperwork to return him. It's a confusing mess, but a reminder of what maybe Angela Merkel had brought upon her country. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you. In fact, Merkel is in a very serious political situation, obviously, with an election in 2017, Neil. The reality is there's not a lot of sharing of information across borders. We also see very clearly that the Germans are nervous, and understandably. I just saw a picture faxed to me or sent to me on my cell phone that shows military people that are now around some of the Christmas marts. There may be a couple thousand of these Christmas marts in Germany, and of course the statement, I think the subliminal statement is it's anti-Christian what has happened here. We've argued about the clash of civilizations, but I think clearly we're beginning to see, with the influx of these people that are totally unvetted into a Christian part of the world, West Germany, France, Belgium, etc., and the violence that has followed has really created a backlash amongst the people in Western Europe, and we're beginning to see not only Le Pen in France, but certainly the alternative for Germany is rising in power, threatening Merkel, and it's happening all over that entire region. But yet, I fear that this could lead to violence internally, which destabilizes a region that is already destabilized because of Russian threats and, of course, the mass immigration. A lot of issues here.
I think Germany has accepted, better than I, Colonel, so I'll defer to you, close to 1 million refugees. Now, this guy presumably could have been one of them. We don't know for sure. We don't know the exact order of events. We do know that the German government was not interested in granting him asylum. However that process goes, to ship him back to Tunisia, and Tunisia then said, well, we don't know if he's from here. So whatever was the paperwork you go through to sort of seal the deal and get someone even in your country or return to another country was a miss. And I thought, boy, that's sort of double jeopardy right there.
Yeah, this could destroy the EU, quite frankly. You think Brexit's, story about the Brits leaving the EU. Italy is looking at renewal, perhaps, of going back to the lira. And the whole idea that the Schengen, the border controls are wiped away. What the Germans are saying now, we want border controls, we want limits on immigration, and we don't want all these immigrants that are coming in that aren't vetted sucking up all our civil services. There is a tolerance level that has been breached here. There was an illustration. You remember 2 years ago, Charlie Hebdo had 20 people murdered there in Paris by terrorists. Well, today's issue of Charlie Hebdo about Berlin, they have a gingerbread house, and that gingerbread house has gun barrels sticking out the windows. And the caption underneath says, "This isn't going to happen to us." What messages are the Europeans feeling now? You've got the Freedom Party in Austria, you have Le Pen over in France. The right is really saying, look, we're not going to tolerate the progressives that have taken over our government. So what happens in the near term? I really think we're going to see something like Brexit, perhaps like what happened in this country when Mr. Trump was victorious and surprising everyone.
Well, look at, Germany, just to bring people up to speed, has a series of, regional elections before they get to the big one. And in the regional elections, populist parties have won. The sitting government has lost or lost power. And it's been a consistent theme. And at least 3 more of them are coming up in the next few months before Angela Merkel's very future leading the country could be in doubt. Colonel, thank you very, very much.